Okay, I'm gonna talk very quietly because we have relatives in the cottage here. And Moore, who came over, has had a very, very bad day. Ended incredibly bad. I'm still. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll probably talk about more of why it was such a horrible day later, if I remember to in a different video. But I'm still in my company uniform, covering a little shot, pushed in the mud. There's sap and dental on my arm. And on the other side too. Oh, and I have an infection in my finger. My thumb. This bit is being recorded 4 days after the clip that's about to be played, if it does get played, if I even decide to upload the video. Bottom line is, I guess I'll just put this disclaimer. What I did was really stupid. I realize that very much now. And pretty well immediately after I did it, I realized that. Just don't do what I did. I encourage you to not go try and swim across the lake. Yeah, I realized that after talking with some people here that it just really was apparent to me how stupid it was, considering the fact of the reason why I did it. I now realize after talking to multiple people and thinking about it more that it's just jogged my memory. I don't know how I forgot this. That what I was trying to prove to myself, I kind of could look back and think of months before when I talked about how I was starving for a year, chronically nauseous, and the neurological problems I had for another whole year. And I survived all that. And I've been in brutal cold before. In fact, I actually placed myself in it in the city of Toronto to test if I could survive it. Well, not solely to do that, but it was a part of it when I was doing it, in case I was ever to be in a homeless situation. And I survived that. So, and plus, I made it all the way up here on a fucking motorized bicycle with a sleeping bag dangling off the side of it and wearing 2 layered coats, a sweatshirt and a coat, in extremely hot weather during the day. And with it breaking down inevitably pretty well. So yeah, there are other ways to prove what I will, if I do upload the video, because I contemplated heavily deleting it multiple times, but if I upload it, I'll probably have just said fuck it. I mean, I'll look back at it for the mistake I made, and it can be some entertainment for the internet. I don't care, I don't know. My God, am I pissed off right now? I don't know if I'm pissed off at myself or someone else or both, or if I'm fucking tired. I don't know. I don't fucking know. So yeah, I can think back and prove to myself that I'm capable of surviving cold climates if I go further up north to Ottawa. But again, if it gets uploaded for your enjoyment, I guess, and because I said things that I wanted to get off my chest and talk about. So yeah, if it gets uploaded, if it's up, it's up. If not, not. I'm going to bed. Before I start this, please enjoy these clips of a orange slug and a horsefly. Did you enjoy those clips of an orange slug and a horsefly? Good. So they have no relevance to anything that I'm doing right now. I just found them cool. So I probably don't look very well. I don't mean that like in terms of like beauty. I mean like, I don't mean that in terms of like vanity. I mean like just health-wise, I guess. I probably don't sound the greatest, but it's well, okay. There's no good way. I'm just gonna say this now. There's no good way to like. I'm not gonna be able to explain like what the hell I'm doing here. Like in any like, probably any sense that'll make, probably in any form that'll make any sort of like coherent sense to anyone watching this. Even if you understood like all the stuff I've been talking about up to this point, I don't know if people will like understand my thought process for this. I don't understand it myself. Like it's pretty well similar to this whole venture I've taken on. But and I kind of got to talk quick because the sun is setting. A lot of stuff has happened in the last few weeks, and by the time you're seeing this, I will also state it will be quite a few weeks to maybe a month or two or so after I've actually filmed it. Just because again, I've been just taking a little, I've been easing off of uploading stuff and recording stuff. It's kind of ironic considering like when I first started, when I said I was leaving Toronto, that I could upload like within a week to a month, however long. Yeah, that the week bit is more realistic because there's stuff that I guess I do, I don't know, want to say, or I feel comfortable, like stuff that's I guess therapeutic for me to just get out here. I'm not going to go into detail right now about like stuff that's happened or a whole lot of like what my plans are, like now that I've, well, been here at my extended relative's cottage for a while. I have like, okay, I'll just say a few things, and then I'll explain them more later on. Timmy's dead. Or well, I had to give him away. I took a little video like of like the last ride I had with them that I'll probably splice into like the end bit or a certain portion of the next video or something. I bought a golf cart, or an electric golf cart, for transport and I traded Timmy in basically for that, but well, not trade. I gave it to the dealer who I'm now somewhat acquainted with, and it cost me a lot. I won't say exactly how much, but it was over $1,000. But it's having some issues right now, but I'll try and get that sorted out. But it's been working well enough, like before all these issues started. I went job hunting around the local area around where I'm staying, and I found a job working for a small landscaping company. I'll talk about that more in a bit, and I'll probably be working there with the crew who I'm
I'm liking them all very much so far. They're very nice people, and all very interesting. Until about maybe late August to all the way or like mid-September, around there at the very most. Again, staying up here at the very most, the beginning of October. I believe I mentioned that in like when I was in Peterborough, when I took a video, that up here at my relative's cottage, like the least I would be up here till is like, well, I said it was roughly what it was, but right now my thought process is either end of August to, like, the least would be end of August, and the most, absolute most, is the beginning of October, because I'm not staying here like through the winter. I've got to get moving like up north, like once the season starts to change. What else? Oh yeah, I've taken a somewhat, I'll say semi, because I guess semi is sort of a theme with stuff of some things I've been talking about. Well, not really, just really homelessness, but okay. I've taken a semi vow of silence, or I did for like the past almost like 3.5 weeks to 4 weeks, like almost a month. Like, I say semi vow of silence because it was only during, it needs some more context, like, for why it really made like such difference, but it's kind of, as you can see, how it's affecting how I'm kind of articulating stuff and like talking, but, or at least to me. It wasn't for like in conversations with people because I need to communicate, or like if I was, say, to be recording this as I am now, or if I was like I don't know what else, just in conversation. I obviously was talking, but when I wasn't, and I was just me alone, basically I talk to myself a lot, somewhat, and well, not somewhat, I do a lot. I stopped that, and it was very hard, and I will talk about that later. The sun's going down. Also, again, sorry if I'm not looking, what did I say again? Like, sorry if I'm not looking directly at the camera there. It's just the lens, like sort of the light flare from the sun behind me is kind of just distorting my like perception a bit. My field of view of the camera, but so yeah, I took somewhat of a vow of silence for myself. The last thing I'll say is I'm probably going to be adopting a dog soon to accompany me on my travels. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. Oh yeah, and goodbye my eye necklace. It broke, or at least the eyepiece broke off of it. I still have like the band of the necklace, but yeah, it's gone, and I had to part ways with it. I don't know what happened to it. I think I lost it on my last ride with Timmy, my motorized bicycle, but oh well. It didn't have any like significant like emotional ties for me to it, but I was very sad, obviously, to lose it. I was upset about it, not bawling my eyes out, but well, it was sad. So yeah, what am I doing in this video? With the light that I have out now, like with the sun where it's at, and like the hue of light coming over the horizon as it's setting, I'm going to try and swim across this lake to whatever distance. I originally was thinking to the opposite end of it, or to one of the islands out there. That's probably not going to happen. Now, I don't have any swimwear or anything like that, so I'm just going to swim in this. You're probably thinking to yourself, Cam, you were a fucking dumb fuck Nimrod. You're an absolute idiot. Why are you doing that? I don't fully know. Other than to... Okay, well, my thought process right now, I want to do it to see... I'll say this. I now have, like, for this adventure, like this philosophical, moralistic, psychological journey that I'm going on across the country, I've now decided on an end destination, at least right now. I somewhat talked about I did talk about my plans, like in the Leaving Toronto video, and I guess as well in the Peterborough videos. Like the rough outline of a plan that I had, like for where to go, like from there, or from here, from southern, like from central southern Ontario area. And my now end goal, and this is just like where, this isn't my final destination of like, once I get there, I'll stay there, or I'll start a life there, or I'll start my careers there, or like, or it's 9 o'clock in the evening. Or like, I'll be there and then I'll finally return to Toronto. This is just like, okay, I get there and then I figure out what to do next. And that end destination is Iqaluit, Nunavut. Now, why that, people would probably ask. One, I've always wanted to go to Nunavut. Like, out of all the places I want to travel to domestically in Canada, Nunavut has always been the place that I've wanted to go to the most. I've been very fascinated with like a lot of the Inuit culture, and also just the landscape of the place, like the barren tundra. It's, again, funnily enough, it's kind of ironic because I hate the cold. I hate winter. But yet, like, my favorite country, like in terms of like politically or just sociologically, at least for the most part, what I originally in the past would think, and just culturally and like everything about it. Well, more so like that culturally, it would be a different, probably a few different countries. But I've always really, really wanted to go to Greenland, believe it or not. But anyway, so anyway, for that reason, I'm going in that direction. Also because, this might seem odd, well, not odd, but it's a bit of like a mixed bag, I guess. Nunavut has, like, for financial reasons, in terms of like me being, as I refer to, semi-homeless, like right now I'm not unemployed, but when I am, for the parts that I am, on this whole like trek, Nunavut has the highest, at least as of current, has the highest minimum wage of any administrative district in all of Canada. I believe right now their minimum wage is either 17 something or 18 something dollars an hour, which is fantastic compared to the rest. But that's because mainly their living expenses, such as housing and food, or like just general groceries and necessities, and transport, tend to cost a lot more than the rest of the country. And I explain this in my leaving Toronto video because, well, they have to import a lot of stuff because in the landscape that they are, with a lot of certain necessities needed, like, well, with certain modern, like, setup of the governmental system in Canada, whatever else, like interactions with the outside world, like, well, not the outside. They need, for certain goods and stuff, they need imports to have them. Obviously, the indigenous people of Nunavut, the territories as well, have survived there for thousands of years, crafting their own tribes and civilizations in those regions and all throughout North America as well. But that's just it's more expensive basically in general just to live there, which is why I may not have a house if I have a thermally heated sleeping bag, which probably won't be, though. I'm probably going to need some form of shelter, obviously, because it's the Arctic. I don't think the sleeping bag can go that low, like that can protect against that heavy drop in temperature, like below freezing. It can go below freezing, I'm pretty sure, but not near the extent of, well, it's made for camping in colder climates, so I don't know if that includes like the Arctic or the Antarctic. So I don't know. I don't even know about whenever I reach there if I'll have the sleeping bag. 16 minutes. Okay. All right. So my end goal right now is Iqaluit, Nunavut. Now, on my whole venture up there, if I have transport at points, and if I end up adopting a canine companion, which I'll explain more later for my reasons why, that's just my end destination for not like where I'm trying to get to, like the path I'll be taking. Whether my plans change along the way, if something else comes up or some other chain of events transpire for me to like decide, okay, not Nunavut anymore, going somewhere else, or staying here, or doing whatever else, or going internationally, I don't know. But that can obviously change along the way. But right now, I have a firm like end goal of, if nothing else comes up, right now my like desired destination is Iqaluit, which, for those of you who don't know, is the capital and second biggest city of the territory of Nunavut, the Canadian territory of Nunavut. Most people think it's the biggest city, but it's not. Actually, Rankin, or Rankin Inlet, on the more mainland of Nunavut, is actually technically the largest like settlement in Nunavut. It beats, I think it technically only beats Iqaluit by like 30 homes or something, like, or 30 suburban homes. It's some form of buildings, it beats it by like a small amount, which I just find pretty funny. I don't know about population wise which one is bigger, but that's just like municipality wise, I guess. But anyway, yeah, that's that. But why am I swimming in the lake for however long I can go? I want to see if I want to try and prove to myself how much I'd be able to handle with like extreme cold temperatures, because now that it's getting dark, like the lake should be getting colder. I wanted to do this earlier somewhat, but I was in more of a depressive state of mind again, and there were relatives up here for the week, and they had just left today, and I didn't exactly want to do that while they were here. So yeah. Am I going to be bringing any sort of like floaties out there, like just for balance or any sort of extra protection? No. I know that's stupid. Logically, I feel that's stupid, but emotionally, I want to see, like, because I know, and as I've even been talking to like my newfound coworkers about like my plan. They're not a huge fan of it, and I'm not talking about the lake. I'm talking about my travels, like my nomadic travels, up to right now. Once leaving here, going to Ottawa and or Gatineau. So everyone's telling me you're not going to be able to get anywhere on that golf cart. I've actually made it last longer than it's supposed to when it was working well, but get into that at a different time. And there's just a lot of reasons, like saying like you're better off walking, you're better off getting a bike. But I have opinions to counteract that of why it wouldn't work so well, like in certain instances that way. But this is mainly for myself, and I know I'm recording this because, well, you know what? What I'm doing is for myself, but I figured, you know what? It'd be some fun entertainment, I guess. And also, I'd be able to rewatch it back to remind myself of, like, this. For whatever reasons. Like, this isn't the most dangerous... Okay, obviously, I'm a good swimmer. I'm not any, like, sort of master at swimming. But I know how to stay afloat and actually move my arms. Basically, and why I'd be uploading as well if it's just for myself is because, well, the storage on my phone. I don't even know if I'll have enough storage to keep recording for this, but, anyway. And just if... I don't know. If anyone, like, feels like they'd maybe want to try it for themselves to see if they can. And I don't mean, like, swimming in a lake, unless you feel you need to. Just something else. And, like... Well, you know, as well as the fact is, like, you can, like I said, makes for some entertainment, I guess. Like, just... You could watch me suffer. Like, my suffering will be worth it in some regard, I guess. I don't know. I don't fully know, like I said. I did this once before, somewhat, like I said in the last video that I uploaded. I sat out at the dock, like, the point here, there's one of the docks out there during a thunderstorm and rain. I said it briefly in my last video. It was pouring rain. There was lightning and thunder hitting the water. I sat out on the dock, and I got drenched completely. I was freezing cold, and I did it to mainly see, how I would feel, what it would maybe make me feel or understand somewhat, if that makes sense, and also just to see if I could endure it. Why do I want to endure it, you're probably asking yourself. Don't worry, I don't have a fetish for that. I'm not a masochist, as Markiplier would say, I guess. But no, that was... No. And again, that's no hate to anyone who's a masochist or a sadist for, like, sexual pleasure. I just... Gam! Talk! I'm doing this to see for when I get on the road again, and when it gets to brutally cold Canadian winter, heading further up north, or blazing hot summers, how well I realistically maybe will be able to handle it. And that doesn't mean whether I'm good at this or not, like if I'm able to withstand it, how far I go, that I won't attempt to still go on the road, but just to gauge more of what could I maybe handle along it, or what I'd be prepared for the most. And like if I'm not prepared for something, like say if I'm extremely freezing, or if I say have to swim across something for whatever reason, or I get drenched, or if like I'm in any sort of physical like discomfort or in a bad situation, what will I be able to handle, or how could I improvise from that moment of like what I'm able to withstand, if that makes any sense. I might even chicken out after I stop this and go down there to attempt to swim and film it. I may... I know, just for your understanding, this isn't technically illegal, I don't think. It's a public lake that people can swim in. Obviously, we have bays, and people attempt to swim out, but there at points can be larger boat traffic. And I guess this is somewhat, I guess out of skewed morals, a bit hypocritical of the skit that I made about, like, basically major trends on TikTok. And again, and I said the characters like, hey, do you want to do something extremely stupid, illegal, or, and also be a complete nuisance to everyone around us? I meant more so like, do you want to do that for the sake of doing that? Like just doing something illegal because it's illegal, or just something extremely stupid because it, well, just because we think it'd be fun, like, or, and just be a nuisance for the sake of being a nuisance, basically. Like knowingly, if that makes sense, but whatever, I'm not happy with most videos on my channel. Okay, I gotta stop talking and actually attempt to do this. If I attempt to do it, if you see the next clip and the sun's still low, then I did it today. If not, then I did it another day. And I guess wised up and opted out of it. But I'm not gonna be a complete idiot if I do it tonight, because instead I will have, hold on, I will have a lantern. That's well, lantern's situated just down below here at the beach of the bay, or the beach that's connected to the bay, or in our bay. Yeah, just so that if it gets darker, I can see my way back. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this. Well, if I drowned, this will make for evidence of what happens, I guess, or what happened. Some water, it's warm, it's also warm. One. Let's hope we can do something.